In the Andean highlands, where mountains rise like ancient guardians, a celebration begins even before the new year arrives. The pre-carnival opens the cycle. On December 28, Pasto bursts with playful energy during the Day of Innocence and the Street Art Festival. Arcoíris en el asfalto. On December 29, music fills the main plaza with a romantic concert. December 30 brings a heartfelt serenade to the city. And on December 31, the parade of Años Viejos bids farewell to the passing year with color and creativity. Then, as January begins, Pasto prepares for one of South America's most iconic cultural expressions, the black and white carnival, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. On January 2, the celebration starts with a spiritual offering to the Virgin of Las Mercedes, followed by Carnavalito, where children honor their roots through dance and imagination. On January 3rd, the Canto a la Tierra parade pays tribute to the deep relationship between Indian communities and the natural world. On January 4, the traditional Familia Castañeda arrives carrying humor, memory, and popular folklore. January 5 becomes the Dia de Negritos, when the city symbolically embraces unity by painting faces in black. On January 6, Pasto reaches its peak with the Dia de Blancos and the Magno Desfile, a monumental display of art, dance, music, and collective imagination. Finally, January 7 honors the region's indigenous and rural heritage through the Festival of Cuy and Campesino culture. But beyond the spectacle lies a deeper message, one that redefines the true wealth of the Andes. Not the gold or silver extract from its mountains, but the wisdom, language, and cultural memory carried by its people. This is where the proposal Akkumuel, the wise people, becomes essential, guardians and the Watsu language of ancestral identity and the harmony between humans and the earth. At the center of this film stands the Fundación Sociocultural Killacinga, a choreographic collective dedicated to bringing this vision to life through symbolic movement, circular forms, and the rhythms inspired by rivers, weaving, agriculture, and ritual ceremony. Killacinga connects past and present, reminding us that culture is the Andes' greatest treasure. This documentary invites you to journey through pre-carnival and carnival, guided by the voices, dances, and stories that keep an ancient legacy alive.
Hi, my name is Santiago.
I'm Steven.
I'm Felipe.
And I'm Maria Alejandra, and this is Akkumuel. Today we are assembled here with
Harold Edwin Burbano Narvaez. I am the General and Musical Director of the Sociocultural Foundation Killacinga What We Are.
Let's start with some questions about the history and context of the collective. How was the collective established, and what motivated its participation in the Carnival of Blacks and Whites?
Well, let's say we originate from a preceding process, stemming from another project that was likewise a part of the Carnival of Blacks and Whites. We arrived at a juncture where the younger individuals desired to possess a somewhat distinct vision, let's say, and a somewhat different proposal artistically and conceptually for their participation in the carnival. In a manner of speaking, the younger individuals are requesting for this process to be implemented and for the carnival activities to persist, albeit with a refreshed ideology and perspective. Not necessarily a completely different one, but rather a renewed stance concerning the artistic format that is showcased at the carnival. That is precisely why the Sociocultural Foundation Killacinga Lo Que Somos possesses a choreographic collective that has a distinct and, I believe, truly unique identity when compared to the others.
Taking into account that this is a novel proposal, what is the philosophical or artistic concept that characterizes the collective?
I am convinced that the most significant value or dimension of the collective lies in demonstrating to young individuals that through the medium of art and significant platforms such as the Carnival of Blacks and Whites, we have the potential to transform society. This way, within the broader context of life, we can pursue a more substantial cause and achieve a better quality of living, especially considering the current circumstances and events of today.
And what would be the significance for you to participate in the Carnival of Blacks and Whites?
I am convinced that initially we must demonstrate that the process we embark upon is exceptionally serious, highly responsible, and deeply committed. Secondly, we are a place with the potential to change lives. Let's propose that this space is accessible to numerous individuals who desire to engage, allowing them to do so without encountering some of the obstacles that other audition or selection procedures might present. In some way, we carry out a formative process. We consider ourselves a carnival school, and our participation in the carnival is simply to show people that through art we can transform society.
Their here isn't just air, it is a canvas. Every January, for one unforgettable week, the Andean city of Pasto explodes into a swirling storm of color, music, talcum powder, and black paint. This is Carnaval de Negros y Blancos, where history doesn't sit quietly in a book. It dances right through the streets. Behind the spectacle lies a story stitched together over centuries. 3 walls shape this tradition. This carnival, the ancestral rhythms of indigenous peoples, the endurance of African traditions, and the Spanish mestizo influences that blended into Pasto's identity. Its oldest roots come from the Pastos and Killacingas. Their harvest festivals honor the moon Quilla and ask the sun for protection. Today, those echoes live on in January, especially in the Canto a la Tierra, where dancers and musicians celebrate Pachamama herself. Then comes January 5, Dia de los Negros, a powerful nod to African heritage and the long fight for freedom. People paint their faces black, not as imitation, but as a remembrance, as solidarity. And suddenly, the next day flips the script. January 6, Dia de los Blancos, it all started back in 1912, when a group of men burst out of a barbershop yelling, "Que vivan los blanquitos!" They threw perfume talcum powder everywhere, and a tradition was born. But the heart of the carnival, it's the art. Massive floats carrozas sculpted over mounds by local artisans using techniques passed down generation after generation. Families and entire neighborhoods become creative workshops, shaping what they call ephemeral art. Art meant to live only for that moment. In 2009, UNESCO honored the carnival as a masterpiece of oral and intangible heritage of humanity. And honestly, they got it right. Because this isn't just a party, it is a celebration of coexistence, creativity, identity, and hope. For a few days each year, Pasto becomes a living reminder that culture can unite us, and that when people come together, the world can look a whole lot brighter.
Now we're with the member.
Well, my name is Santiago Dorado. I'm part of the music section in the area of panpipes. I am also part of the team involved in creating the proposal.
Certainly, let's delve into the inquiries regarding the artistic preparation process. How do you determine the proposal that you will be presenting each year?
This year, the process changed slightly. We initiated an open call inviting people to submit their creative ideas to the collective's email. These were then thoroughly reviewed. Like the riches of the Andes, there was a harmonious alignment between two proposals that were chosen. By combining them, we crafted this year's proposal. The team saw the potential to unify these ideas, leading to the proposal we will present.
What aspects of the cultural heritage inspire your proposal?
Certainly, as I previously mentioned, two distinct proposals were chosen from which the current proposal has emerged. One of these proposals concentrated on numerous aspects of our Andean riches. The Nariño region possesses this comprehensive Andean connection and was primarily based on the minerals and everything that the land and the Andes encompass. And the alternative proposal was deeply connected to ancestral languages, encompassing these intangible cultural treasures, which led to that conclusion. The language we referred to is the Cuastu de los Pastos and the gold of the Andes, so we combined the link between the tangible and intangible riches that are present in the region, specifically the language and all our wealth beneath the surface.
Certainly, who holds the responsibility for crafting the choreography?
Certainly, the team responsible for developing the proposal, including the creators, Jason Santa Cruz and myself, undertook the task of crafting a comprehensive script outlining the choreography. This script narrates the various moments and encapsulates what we aspire to represent in each segment. Specifically, alongside the gold pans, it encompasses everything associated with earth extraction, offerings, and the entire process that illustrates this tangible and intangible proposal also reflected in the songs. We have already designated a team, the dance instructors, who, utilizing this script that we meticulously crafted, are tasked with formulating a proposal for the dance and orchestrating it with the ensemble.
When and how often are the rehearsals? Well, let's assume that at the commencement of the year we make an announcement around the 20th of January. We always meticulously examine the number of individuals who each year transition, proceed to other processes, and vacate the spaces. Depending on that, we make a call for the first Sunday of February. On the first Sunday of February, we start rehearsals. During the initial 2 months, I am of the opinion that they are dedicated to leveling, assessing the quantity of new individuals who have become members, and we typically commence rehearsing each Sunday from 8 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. As the audition stage approaches, which is generally always in October, we hold rehearsals a bit more continuously, such as during the week on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. On weekdays, the rehearsals are in the evening, and on Sundays, they are from 8:30 in the morning until 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Consequently, let us presume that the rehearsal sessions are typically in alignment with the specific requirements and needs that we hold as an organization. What are the main challenges during rehearsals? I believe that possessing the capability to effectively manage, I think we are presently at the maximum number of members, which is 220, the utmost permitted to participate in the carnival in this collective format. I believe the primary challenge lies in comprehending each individual member and managing their various activities, which they have outside of the group's commitments. It is essential to respect those personal spaces and coordinate effectively with them. Involving them in a meaningful way is crucial so that they develop a strong sense of belonging, which is extremely important for successfully developing those artistic processes.
In the city of Pasto, choreographic collectives have become a vital part of cultural life. These groups are not only for artistic creation, but also for education, social inclusion, and the preservation of local identity. Through them, young people find a voice, a way to express their emotions, their stories, and express their sense of belonging. Each rehearsal is more than just preparation for a show. It is a moment of learning, teamwork, and personal growth. Many of these collectives welcome children and teenagers from different backgrounds. offering them a safe and positive environment that keeps them away from social media risks and opens doors for new opportunities. By combining traditional rhythms with contemporary styles, choreographic collectives keep Pasto's cultural heritage while protecting it toward the future. The participation in local festivals such as the Carnival of Black and Whites turns the streets into a living stage where art, identity, and joy merge into one powerful expression. These collectives also contribute to the city's cultural tourism and creative economy, showing that dance can be part of transformation not only for the performance but also for the entire community. In every step, every gesture, and every moment, they remind us that dance in Pasto is not just an art form. It is a celebration of life, unity, and hope.
Well, at this moment, we shall continue discussing the influence on the collective and society. How has the collective progressed throughout the years of active involvement?
Certainly, let's express that it is fundamentally about the extensive years of committed work. Because at the outset, we embarked on this journey in the year 2019 with this process identified as Killacinga. We encountered a substantial factor that exerted a profound influence on society, which was the pandemic, during which we were confined for an entire year. Although we initiated with approximately 140 members in 2019, during the pandemic, we were only able to sustain about 38 members in a WhatsApp group, which enabled us to remain in contact to preserve that artistic dimension. Has it been challenging to sustain ourselves through the medium of art? Indeed, it is quite complicated as we require contributions from everyone on a humanistic level, an emotional level, and an economic level in order to support ourselves and sustain this ongoing process. Has articulating from the standpoint of Carnival as a mechanism to sustain ourselves as an artistic community within the broader society been significant over these past 3 years? They have been very important without disregarding those who supported us during the process and those who gave us the strength to continue. Over the past 3 years, we have successfully accomplished the most significant objective within the Carnival, which is obtaining the accreditation for participation. Therefore, I believe it has primarily been a process of steadfast perseverance that we have managed to establish with the Foundation.
What insights and lessons have you learned as a group?
I hold the belief that we should thoroughly explore the various methods by which we can, I stress again, transform individuals who are in need of artistic expression in order to empower them to lead a life that is, in some way, embraced by society. We have actively participated in comprehensive processes with individuals who have emerged from, to reiterate, challenging cycles of alcoholism and drug addiction. Through the Foundation and the medium of artistic expression, they have profoundly transformed their lives and discovered a constructive pathway within society. Consequently, we perceive ourselves as a process that we have significantly fortified, aiming for the individuals involved to feel a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment within this supportive environment. Through the Foundation, they can substantially enhance their lives.
How do you think the Pasto community influences the growth and promotion of local cultural heritage?
I think many people need a thorough educational journey to truly grasp what an artistic carnival process involves, not just for the collective or the murgas and so on. From the murgas, the parades, the floats, yet in the format of collectives. I believe individuals perceive this as a waste of valuable time, not realizing that we are indeed life transformers. Unexpectedly, we find ourselves alongside colleagues who have been collaborating with us for numerous years. They have been actively engaged with me for over a decade in this ongoing process. They have transformed their lives, their perspectives, their way of perceiving society, of cherishing society, and of appreciating these spaces because it is essential for us. The individuals here require that space so there can be an educational process for the community, for the citizens, enabling them to comprehend that we are artists and that this space we utilize is part of a process where we are in some manner occupying a significantly important time in life, and that is truly fundamental. Society is unaware of that. In Pasto it's complicated. There are many people who disagree, and the city itself doesn't have the spaces. Fortunately, we have this wonderful place, the pedagogical school, thanks to an agreement with Dr. Gloria Jurado, who is the principal, and this is our 4th year here. I believe she is very pleased because we have managed to turn this space into a place of art. Hopefully, Pasto will become like that, a city field and surrounded by art with people being empathetic towards us. We do no harm. We only create music and art, and that is important. In the end, how do you perceive the reaction of the international audience during the Grand Procession? That represents another form of education that individuals from outside possess. The issue is, in my opinion, they arrive with a somewhat limited impression of what we, as individuals from Pasto or as carnival artists, are genuinely capable of conveying. When they are present here, they already observe and witness the entire artistic process and all the performances that take place. Individuals are incredibly important because they recognize the magnitude of the event and the significance of our culture within the territory and on a global scale. So we become visible through the carnival artists, and we have accomplished a truly remarkable job.
Every year, Corpo Carnaval opens the call for participation. Choreographic groups complete pre-registration forms and submission forms, follow the official manual, and present an audition for a specialized jury that evaluates music and dance before accreditation. Proponents are adults and must fill the required forms, prove authorship and trajectory, and meet the artistic and operational standards in the manual, things like the concept, coherence, safety, and parade readiness. Production is in-house. Throughout the year, collective meet to build the show. They rehearse choreography, compose or select the music, and design and sew the costumes while crafting props in community workshops and homes. This collaborative artisan process is part of Pasto's identity. Accredited groups receive an aporte a la comunidad, a financial contribution from Corpo Carnaval that supports quality and production, plus self-funding through sponsors' activities and member contribution when needed. Music is the heartbeat. Each group researches their theme and builds a soundtrack that drives the narrative and the steps. You'll hear Andinian instruments like mampimpes, quenua, rendador, charango, and drums played by musician dancers who set the tempo for movement and emotion.
Now let's talk about logistical and production aspects of the collective. Starting with the question, what is the registration and accreditation process with Corpo Carnaval like?
Prior to the commencement of the call initiated by the foundation, there exist specific parameters that are already delineated within a comprehensive manual for participation, meticulously designed for the carnival call. We endeavor earnestly to adhere to all those requirements or stipulations encompassed by this call. Once we have meticulously compiled the necessary informational resources for each individual member, we systematically organize it within an Excel spreadsheet where we incorporate the full names of the members, their contact details, and contacts of individuals who can be notified in the event of any unforeseen circumstances. We then submit this documentation, which is substantiated by copies of identification cards, identification documents, or passports in certain cases, to the corporation. This facilitates them in initiating an analysis of pre-registered individuals and verifying that the roster we present does not contain duplicates in another group process, thereby ensuring the transparency of members. They conduct those reviews, and that analysis enables us, once the review is completed, to submit the official list with all the members. We also carry out the investigation of the topic to be addressed in the audition proposal and submit all the documents related to the administrative part, as well as the requirements from municipal bodies, the Attorney General's office, the Comptroller's office, the Prosecutor's office, the police redum. All of that must be in order. In this case, as a representative, I must be completely up to date and maintain an orderly, upright life to participate, because it's important to know that these processes are carried out with people who have all aspects of their lives in order.
What requirements must be met for your proposal to be approved?
As I previously mentioned in the call for proposals, there are specific parameters and the team must consist of a certain percentage of members. For newly formed groups, it should be approximately 70% of members who have never participated before. Since we are an established foundation, we are permitted to have a combination of both new and existing members. As a training school, we typically have about 60 to 70% of new members each year that we train for the carnival event. In addition to that, Corvo Carnival necessitates the submission of those documents I previously mentioned. They thoroughly analyze and review them before initiating the audition process. This year there were two categories, A and B. We were part of category A where there were 9 participants, and in category B there were 7 and 4 advanced. We advanced 7. We achieved the 8th position in category A, but we were ranked number 12 in the overall accreditation process. Ultimately, we secured accreditation with an exceptionally high score due to the fact that all the scores were remarkably elevated. Once they meticulously review the scores, they proceed to open up the 12 slots and they move forward to determine the process as accredited. Thus, it is the procedure that encompasses accreditation. The carnival represents the ultimate development where the performance is presented for the public audience to enjoy.
Who designs and produces the costumes and props this year?
For approximately 3 years now, we have been collaborating with the creative team process. 2 years ago, last year and the year prior, there was a designer responsible for receiving the ideas and proposals from the creative team and synthesizing them, bringing everything together and articulating everything to create a distinctive idea. However, this particular year, the responsibility was entrusted to the creative team, who are truly exceptional artists, engaged in the study of visual arts and design. Consequently, all of those concepts have been skillfully condensed by the team into a central idea or theme, culminating in a singular image, a visual impression that is embodied within a costume. The team is systematically divided into the social media management team, the design and creative team, the administrative coordination team, the stage setup and arrangement team, which includes the dance structures, the percussion ensemble, the wind music ensemble, and my role as the musical director and composer of all the musical works. However, ultimately everything converges to create a singular presentation in Snake, where a distinctive proposal is showcased and everyone performs and embodies the entire proposal in a cohesive and unified manner.
How do you finance the production?
That is the contribution before obtaining accreditation. Prior to being accredited, everything related to these emblems, with what visually represents us, shall we say, they remain active. They are carried out through the foundation to raise money, or if not, they are contributions from the same member who provides the money to buy their badge, their pants for the audition, and also for the performance. A resource is additionally received, which serves as a contribution to the quality provided to the accredited collectives. From where? By making the essential legal deductions such as taxes, insurance, policies, and numerous existing taxes. The net value that remains is distributed among all those who have been accredited, so that the members have to contribute a somewhat smaller share. However, ultimately, all the members invariably end up contributing nearly more than 60% of the money for the staging and 100% for the audition attire.
Ultimately, what significance does music hold in your presentation?
Oh, I genuinely believe it's the most universally transversal sense of the entire carnival experience. I mean, I've consistently told them that without music, there is absolutely no party, no dance, no celebration. I mean, music is the ultimate manifestation that catalyzes all artistic expressions, that compresses them, fortifies them, and even makes them somehow more tangible. Music is intangible. While you can play the instrument, the sounds are intangible. You cannot touch them, but you can feel them. And that makes each of the artists express themselves through music, whether it's a float artist, a parade artist, or an individual costume artist. Their essence is expressed through music. Thank you very much for your time during the interview. Thank you so much. Similarly, I would like to extend an invitation to all of you.
So you can join us.
This 2026, starting from December 28th, the Pre-Carnival and the Carnival of Blacks and Whites. Starting from January 7 on January 3rd, the Song of the Earth will be dressed in 1,000 colors, and one of those colors is us, the Killacinga Sociocultural Foundation, what we are in the Song of the Earth.
We eagerly anticipate having you join us.
In the end, choreographic collectives in Pasto are far more than groups of dancers. They are the heartbeat of an entire city. Through every movement, they transform streets into stages, challenges into creativity, and communities into vibrant spaces of expression. Their art empowers the youth, preserves cultural memory, and inspires a sense of unity that few other forms of expression can achieve.